the candidate. He said, "I am deeply grateful to Eric Clapton for bringing his musical artistry and rebellious spirit to my gathering in Los Angeles last night." He said, "I sometimes think that in our divided society, it is music rather than any kind of intellectual agreement that has the most potential to bring us together again."
Was Cheryl Hines there?
Yes, I believe she was there.
I like RFK Jr. I like that guy. He's formidable, is how I would describe him. And I'm now at the point where I'm done with all the 10-cent heads. You have to have. I'm even not as interested in your opinions and stances as I am on your ability to think, which is leaving our government.
Well, look, to my dad's point, this guy is an opponent of the military industry. He doesn't like foreign intervention. So my dad likes that about him. He's also been an environmentalist, and he's against the systemic erosion of the middle class. So I think we can all agree on those things.
And he thinks that poisons in water cause transgenderism.
If they don't?
No.
And.
No, there is a lot of research about plastics and about those like forever chemicals and sperm count going down and like testosterone going down. And there's probably something to that. But I don't know. I'm not sure what his stance is on that.
Fox News reporting on a very unusual police chase in Vermont. They finally captured a robbery suspect who authorities say evaded law enforcement over the past week in various modes of flight, from cars to bikes to paddleboards to sailboats to tractors. Eric Edson, 52, is expected to be arraigned on more than a dozen charges in relation to an armed robbery in Burlington. Now, what happened was there was the robbery, and then they saw the guy. He seemed to be passed out in a car he'd stolen. They chased him. He ended up on a canoe on the Lamui River. He landed the kayak, which is also believed to have been stolen.
Canoe or kayak or both. It's hard to find a canoe nowadays. Canoes have been,
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just went kayaking last weekend. I want to go canoeing. I'm a big canoeist.
What is the difference between a kayak and a canoe?
Well, the kayak is lower to the sea, and I'm not an expert. It's lower to the water, and you sort of sit in it, whereas a canoe is bigger, it can tip over more easily, and you have a paddle, which you switch sides. Sorry, I'm hitting things.
Yeah.
And the kayak is like this. I think a kayak is more swift.
I don't think there's a big distinction these days. I was just in a sea kayak week and a half ago, and I enjoy it, but I feel like the canoe has been replaced by the kayak.
Absolutely.
The kayak is
nobody's talking about this.
It's a better version. The kayak is a better version of a canoe.
No. Look what's going on the left. There's storage space in the canoe. There's a lot more fun.
No, I think the canoe is for sitting, fishing, and you want a 12-pack in between your legs. Whereas the kayak is a little more for exercise and movement and activity.
But you can't. I was just on a lake, and there wasn't a canoe to be found. And nobody is talking about this.
You know what?
The death of the canoe, and this is serious.
You know what I think?
This is real shit.
I'm going to add to this.
Yeah.
Please.
I think the canoe went out with the casserole. There's no casseroles anymore. This was a better country when there were canoes and casseroles.
Yeah.
And now it's all kayaks and fucking panini bread.
Well, I believe,
wraps.
and I believe, and I'm not even trying to be funny, that I think it's chemicals in the water that have led to the death of the canoe.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do. There's been a lot of because look at the kayak. The kayak is low sperm count. Mm-hmm. You got to have a lot of sperm to get on a canoe like that.
Yeah.
Look at the kayak guy's not even wearing a safety vest.
I will say this also. When I grew up, speaking of casseroles, the dessert casserole is a souffle, and there was a lot of souffle humor People be making a souffle. Someone would barge in from outside and slam the door, and they'd go, "Oh no, not the souffle! The souffle's going to drop."
Right.
Any Mad magazine would have a souffle joke.
There was sitcoms.
Sitcoms.
They'd come home. Alice would be making it on Brady Bunch, and Bobby and Peter would get into an argument and slam his books down, and she'd yell, "Not the souffle!" And she'd run. She'd have to go see if the souffle fell. There was souffle humor. There was a lot of canoe humor, too.
Really?
A lot of people trying to stand up on the canoe, falling into the lake, stepping off the dock into the canoe, putting both feet on both edges of the canoe and rocking. There's no canoe humor.
You also had to, like when you're on a kayak with somebody else, you can fight the whole time because there's nothing the other person can do. If you're on a date and you're canoeing, you do not get into a fight with the other person because they can tip it over very easily.
Right.
They can threaten to stand up. They can do this sort of stuff. And that's part of the fun of the canoe. I didn't feel a sense of danger with the kayak. Maybe I'm just more masculine than you and some other people.
I'm just saying,
canoeist.
There was a simpler time when there was a canoe in the garage and a casserole in the oven that would be followed by a souffle, and it was just a simpler, better time in America.
Is a kayak just a woke canoe?
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
I don't think the guy on the kayak in the picture looks
they
very
showed
woke.
two weird pictures because they're both fishing, but I never see anyone fish in a kayak. I always see them paddling, like out looking for sea turtles.
I like a good old metal Deliverance canoe.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got your gun in there? Where's the gun go in the kayak?
No, up your ass.
You're dueling banjos.
Right.
Yeah. You've got camping gear that goes in a canoe. Canoes for the real outdoorist.
I'm with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
We agree.
A serious story that's been making a lot of news today. Bijou Phillips Masterson has filed for divorce from husband Danny Masterson over a week after he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison for raping two women.
Wait, she's... God damn, everyone. She's married. Bijou is married to Danny Masterson.
She was.
Okay.
Yeah, still is.
Okay.
Still
Can I say this?
Yeah.
4 days ago, somebody said to me, "Yeah, he's married to Busy Phillips," and I go, "He's married to Busy Phillips?" Yeah. I go, I never heard that. Oh yeah. I like when people who are wrong put the O in front of yeah.
Yeah.
And I go, I've seen Busy Phillips do stuff. I did her show and Dawson's Creek and stuff. I've seen her do videos and stuff. Like, she's married to Busy Phillips? Absolutely. I'm like, wow. I just figured I would have heard about that. No, well, they're married to Busy Phillips. And then I'm like, oh. And I remember just sitting and thinking, like, she comes from money. She doesn't seem like she would be that type. I don't know why she's with him. And then I started thinking, well, and I was like, is she going to stand by his side? Oh yeah, Busy's going to be there. It's Bijou.
It's Bijou.
And why, Teresa,
Right.
you're a woman, maybe you can help me understand this. Well, why would she file the divorce after the conviction? Had she not seen enough evidence through the trial?
And this was a second trial.
Yeah.
So she wept when the guilty verdicts were read on May 31st, and she showed similar emotion at times during his September 7th sentencing hearing when a judge handed down the maximum sentence allowed by law to the 47-year-old actor. Masterson will be eligible for parole after serving 25 and a half years, but he could be held for life. Of course, Masterson is maintaining his innocence, and his attorneys have said they plan to appeal, contending that there were problems with evidence and constitutional issues with his conviction.
I'd like to know, and Adam, this would be something that you and I would indulge in if we had more time. I think we could come up with a scale for how safe somebody like this is in prison, because he, to me, looks like fresh meat. So he's probably a 9 out of 10. He was on a show. I think he's going to be, bitched up pretty fast. Whereas if you took like a Harvey Weinstein, that guy's safe, right?
I feel like he's sexually safe because he's so sort of unattractive.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, high profile Hollywood rapist. I feel like they would just give him one of those soap beatings, but maybe not the raping. Maybe minus the sexual part.
Yeah.
Well, Bijou has actually communicated that she's concerned for his safety in prison.
I'm concerned for the women he raped.
Thank you.
Well, one of them was his girlfriend, right? Of years.
So He was found guilty of 2 of the 3 counts of rape after 7 days of deliberation. Both the attacks took place in Masterson's Hollywood area home in 2003 when he was at the height of his fame on the Fox sitcom That 70s Show. The jury couldn't reach a unanimous verdict on the 3rd count, an allegation that Masterson also raped a longtime girlfriend.
Oh, that was the one they couldn't.
Right.
All right, so those are legitimate versus that one. Because the rape of the longtime girlfriend that you continue being a girlfriend with, that one's a little dubious to me. That one needs to be...
I'm handing it to you,
That one
Orny.
needs to be discussed a
come
little.
on.
No means no.
You got this.
No.
You got
Let me
this,
explain
Orny.
this for Adam. For most people, no means no. It's the 5th no that matters for Adam.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes right. That's right.
I get to double digits.
So
That's what I'm
So
thinking.
she says no 9 times. You're still moving forward with the act.
Oh, come on.
It's the 10th.
It's that
it
10th.
becomes legally raped.
Double digits is where I slow my roll.
This would explain really much of the argument we just had about the Spanish soccer dude.
Who you'd like locked in the same prison.
No, we never got
with
to
this
conclude
guy.
that because you
yes,
knew I was
would.
right. You knew I was right. I said to you, we're going to segregate the discussion between the act versus the
this
punishment.
guy is not, that soccer coach is not only out of a job, but he's been so tarred and feathered that I don't know he can get on another team.
Oh, he'll come back.
You do? Think
Yeah, I
so?
do.
Okay.
Howard Stern has said his friendship with Bill Maher is over.
Oh.
After the HBO Real-Time host made a comment about the radio shock jock's habit of gushing about his wife on air. I'm quoting Bill Maher here. He goes on about how much he loves his wife, Beth, which he's been doing on the air for like 10 years. He said this on the Monday episode of his Club Random podcast, during which he interviewed Julian Lennon. He went on to say, but we know Howard had this other wife before Beth, alluding to Allison Burns. The two got divorced in 2001. Bill Maher, 67, has never been married. All of this as reported by the New York Post.
That doesn't seem that harsh. I think Howard's skin's getting a little thinner as he gets a little older.
Have you been on his show in a while? You were great on that show.
No, I'm no longer welcome on that show.
What?
Because I was right about everything COVID.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's important that I be punished for being correct
being
about
right.
everything COVID. 'Cause
Were you wrong about anything?
Not COVID.
No, really?
Related.
Nothing?
No.
Wow.
Well, you can bring it up.
Do you go
I mean-
on Bill Maher's show?
Yes, I have. I've been on Bill Maher's, both
How's
the
he?
shows.
How's he?
In what way?
Like personally,
Bill
would you want to have a beer with him?
Bill is not a knock around kind of guy. Like, and a lot of comedians aren't knock around kind of Joe Sixpack guys. Like I like the blue collar types to watch the game with
Right.
and crack the beer. Like I love sort of, I like a higher intellect, but guys who like hanging out. And there are definitely some of those dudes out there. He's not like a knock around kind of guy, but he's very interested, super smart, very inquisitive, and like he's always treated me right. He's come on this show. I've come on his show. I've done his TV show many times. But he's not a bro. You know, he's not a dude, and he doesn't want to be, and he doesn't claim to be. He says, I live this life. It is not heading down to Hooters with you shit kickers and knocking a few back. I got my own thing going on. But in general, I like him, and I find his honesty refreshing. And I'm now at the point where I no longer need to agree with people. I just need to think that they're honest. And then we're done. All right. Sorry. Where were we?
Do we have time for one more story?
Yeah, one
because
more,
Because I
quick.
just love this. Jason Bateman had a meltdown. This is from Entertainment Weekly. Not even celebrities are safe from the horrors of technical difficulties. And Adam, I'm sure this has happened to you. It's happened to everybody. You're trying to log on to Zoom. Something goes wrong. On the latest episode of his Smartless podcast, the Ozark actor recalled the recording session that made him spiral into madness. The 2-year-old incident forced Bateman and his co-hosts Will Arnett and Sean Hayes to scrap an episode entirely. The worst part being that Oscar winner Matthew McConaughey was listening the whole time. And I have to play you a clip. And if you haven't listened to this podcast, the conceit is that one of them books a very special guest, and it's a surprise to the other co-hosts. So when Bateman is having technical difficulties, he doesn't know who's on the line. Take a listen.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
It's not. I don't see it here on the sound thing. So let's cancel. Let's just let's reschedule this thing. I'm in a total fucking tailspin.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Great. Who the fuck is that?
Who is that?
Great. That's helpful.
Is that our guest?
Is that our guest?
Wait, who's doing the laughing?
Let me tell you what I've heard here over the last 30 minutes.
Oh, that's
we got
McConaughey.
a reboot here.
Oh my
my
God.
daughter's iPad got cloned, and then it got wiped right before the dog peed on it. So I got to reboot one more time. Wait a minute, it's buffering. Wait, let me reinstall. No, I'm installing. It's going to restart. We got a failure. I need a security check. Oh shit, we got a virus. Let me reschedule this whole show one more time. Shit, you know what? You guys start without me. Fuck that. Everyone be patient. Oh shit, what are we going to do? I'm going to tell the fucking tail.
Dude,
That's what said it was in my career.
How did you possibly keep track of all your sets?
I just, when I started, I was just like, I'll just write these down. I'll do comedy a couple weeks. And then later in life, when I'm writing a book or something, I'll be like, this is when I did comedy. And then it bit me like a snake. And I just kept going, and I just kept writing them in the notes on the phone.
So, like, I'm trying to think. I would have no idea how many sets I did. Within 2,000, I probably couldn't narrow it down. But I don't think most comedians do. Do they? You may be in a minority here.
Yeah, I just did it. So this year, this is what it looks like, just to show you. So this year, I'm at 110 already.
Uh-huh.
So you just write it down, the date, the time usually I went on, where it was,
Listen, it's commendable.
Yeah.
I would just never do it.
Yeah.
But is it OCDE or is it just pragmatic?
I think it was just, it started to turn into different things. It was kind of a work ethic thing. All right, I got on again. I put it down kind of like it was glory. Holy shit, I got another set. And then I started using it as like, okay, let's go back a year ago. I was here. Let's see when it was. Then I can go back and listen to the recording, what I did, so I don't really repeat stuff or whatever,
Smart. I never do that. But I always do. I come back to town and I go, what did I do here last time? Yeah. And then I have no idea because I didn't record it and I didn't write it down and I don't have it figured out. But I feel, and I don't know what your background is, but a lot of comedians are here because we're traditionally lazy and that we're not good students, and writing stuff down in order and keeping track of stuff is not really a strong point for most comedians. Now, there are a couple people who are like comedians and they're sort of like honor students, like Jimmy Kimmel's that kind of guy.
Right.
And when you take a sort of honor student and mix it with comedy, then you get hosting the Oscars 4 times.
Oh, man.
So you really do, you get next level, because what you get is like a kind of punctuality and a responsibility and a sobriety that you would take in the corporate world, but now you're doing it with a bunch of junkies and flunkies and you go right to the top, But you don't strike me as an A student in high school. I take that in the spirit in which it was intended. So,
I hated school,
Yeah, I did too. So where did this studious stenographer part kick in?
It came from my mom. She had like insane work ethic, So she was a single mom, divorced, and, we were poor, government cheese, all that shit. And so she was really like, be on time, don't call in sick, do the job they hired you to do. And that was really where it came from. I wanted to just be at the club on time. They could rely on me. That way they'd call me like somebody dropped out. You want to go on? And I'd be like, I'm there. And I was on a motorcycle. I did most of those spots on a motorcycle. So I could get places really quick, skip the traffic.
In L.A.?
In L.A., yeah, right.
What kind of bike did you have?
I had a Beamer GS 1200. Then I had a Harley Road Glide. Just baggers because I'd ride it all over California to do the spots.
Mm-hmm. And give me some good poor person government cheese talk. I love good poor people stories.
Yeah.
I love tales of the cheap.
Well, the funniest thing about it is they used to give you free lunch. And for a while, you would have to have this kind of a thing you showed. But
Punch card.
They realized that was embarrassing to the students. So then they they already knew we were the poor guy. You get up to the register at school for lunch. But the funny thing about it is they had this hot pastrami sandwich.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
It was up in NorCal. So hot pastrami sandwich, and that was gold to me. And I never had a pastrami sandwich. People would be like, you got to go to Cantor's or you got to go to Greenblatt's. Yeah. And I was like, you got to go to high school government sandwich.
No, you're bringing up a good point because I was a free lunch program dude myself.
Right.
And it was funny. They just had lunch tickets.
Right.
We had some sort of universal, there was a monopoly on tickets. It was a big roll of red tickets that you pull off for about 1.5 inches long. And when you'd go to the carnival, you'd get the ticket. When you went in the lunch line, it was like one ticket,
Yeah.
And then you hand them the ticket. And the hot dogs suck, and the hamburgers suck, and the pizza suck. But when I got to junior high, the pastrami sandwich was a big deal.
Isn't that fucking nuts?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't fuck up that pastrami sandwich, or maybe you can't. But they fucked up everything else.
I'll tell you a funny story. A guy told me, hey, have you tried All About the Bread? It's on Melrose. It's a sandwich shop, and they make their own bread. I go, no. And he goes, you got to go. It's great. So I eat there one day. And I go, holy shit, this is the free lunch pastrami sandwich. It had the same flavors. And I was like, oh, God, this is my spot.
So, nothing better than pastrami sandwich. But, all right, so poor guy growing up, lunch program.
Yeah. And not embarrassed either because all my friends were poor in the neighborhood. It was like fresh divorces happening in the 70s. Dads were splitting.
Yeah.
There was no money, and you actually got those food stamps that were like they looked like the tickets for Disneyland.
Yeah. Pull them off. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the food stamp argument. My mom tried to buy cat food. They were explaining to her no cat food. And I'm like, what if we eat the cat food?
Cigarettes was the one my mom would try to get.
Oh, really? See, my mom didn't smoke, but we had a stray cat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, somebody should have worked a deal out. I think they do now, or probably sold those. People go in, buy a can of beans, come out, and trade them for some cigarettes or something.
Well, I think the gangster way would go if you went to the corner store, kind of bodega type of places. Oh, yeah. The guy would be like, all right, you give me $5 in those, and I'll give you the cigarettes. It's like, so you're paying like, cigarettes back then were 75 cents or whatever, so you're paying $5, but, so he was making money.
It's so amazing that 10 minutes after the system is in place, the grift begins.
That's like with the counterfeit bills.
It's with everything.
The new one comes out, they're like, we already got that.
It's just human nature is there's COVID, there's a lockdown, then someone's going to give government payment to small businesses, and the grift is on. Like it just begins.
Listen, bud, I came up on a bunch of N95 masks immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I was in on the grift.
Yeah.
I've never been a good grifter because it takes a lot of energy, I feel like. Like the amount of effort my mom put into being poor, she could have just had a well-paying job. You know what I mean? It just took so much energy with the waiting in line everywhere, and the waiting for the stamps, and the waiting for the welfare, and the arguments about cat food and stuff like that. Like, you could have just taken a job.
They weren't paying women back then any money, so that's impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, I was paper routing it.
You were paper routing it?
Oh, yeah. That was so fucking weird.
Paper route is a good base. It's a good pre-McDonald's base in terms of learning how to work.
Yeah,
You can't work at McDonald's when you're 12.
No.
But you show me someone who had a paper route from like age 10 to 15 and a half and then went to McDonald's, and I go, that fucker knows how to work.
Yeah, that was me, man. I called it the America sweatshop.
Yeah.
You know, because you work all fucking month, and then they go, here's $3.90 or whatever. And you're like, are you out of your mind? Like, on Sunday, you're getting up, and then you're getting these crazy old men. I said to porch it, motherfucker.
I don't want to be a one downer.
Yeah.
But I will go even lower than you.
Yeah.
I never had a paper route, but I got sucked into many a friend's paper route.
Oh, yeah.
Because my fucking house didn't have any food in it. It was a piece of shit. My mom was depressed, so I would sleep over at my friend's house a lot. And I'd be there Saturday night eating up all their instant pudding.
Oh, I'm that way, too.
And all their food. I was in their pantry and everything.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'd turn around and they go, you know, it's time to pay the fiddler tomorrow morning. And I'd be like, I'll have another Pop-Tart. And they're like, well, we're getting up at 5:30. And I'm like, where are we going? We're folding papers.
Yeah.
We're doing inserts. And then we're going on my route. And I never said, how about I just sleep in and have another Pop-Tart? I got fucking recruited. And then I would even take over dudes' routes where they'd go like, I'm not going to be here Sunday, but you got to take over my route. But I never got paid.
Yeah.
So I'm the only guy who's been on 15 different routes, but never got a penny. But I would see those guys try to collect.
Oh, it was crazy.
And the guy's arguing with them. The one got wet, so let's back out 50 cents. And it's like, oh, what a fucking job for a 12-year-old.
It's fucking nuts. You know?
It should be illegal.
Oh,
I think it is now.
Yeah, and don't even fucking get me started on, you know, at the end of the month, you got to go knock on these fuckers' doors and collect.
Yeah.
And they're hiding over like $2. And I see you in there.
I went with my friends even to collect.
Yeah.
Because there was never any food in my house. I didn't have anything to do. So I was always just like hanging out. They'd be like, we're going collecting.
The muscle.
And I'd just be standing there. My buddy Ray'd be arguing with the guy, and the
It's
old man in
crazy,
his
right?
bathrobe be arguing. Yeah, well, what they do is they go, 2 Wednesdays ago, you dropped the paper on the lawn, then the sprinklers kicked on, the paper got ruined, so I'm not paying for that paper. It's like,
It is nuts.
Jesus Christ.
It was the first time I saw a guy with a tracheotomy. Like,
oh, yeah, like, yeah.
I knocked on the door. The guy, because I had just taken over a new paper route, and the guy opened the door and he looked at me.
Fuck you, kid, I'm not paying for the paper.
He just raised his finger like 1 minute. And I thought he was going to get the money, but he was going to get his fucking machine. And he came over, how can I help you? And I just fucking, I'd never seen anything like that. I ran. That guy got the paper free. He got the paper free for the rest of my paper route career.
All right, now you tell me, maybe I'm coming from white privilege here.
Right.
But I just don't feel like I would really haggle with a poor person and at this stage, but maybe even in modern times. And what I'm saying is you got some 50-year-old dude smoking in his bathrobe. He's a homeowner.
Yeah.
And then you got some poor fucking dude who's eating government cheese, single mom, welfare. He's 12 years old, and you're fucking throwing down over 50 cents. Like, I feel like now you just someone peel off 5 and go, yeah, take that, get yourself a pastrami sandwich or something. And it's not just being rich. It's like my family would argue and haggle, and it's like, you want to go, that guy's poor.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm not paying you for driving time. It's like, the guy's got a pickup truck. It's a gas guzzler. Like, why are you hassling? It's not about having money, because I've had girlfriends when I was poor, and the girlfriend was poor, but if they were like a waitress and we'd eat out, they'd go, you got to leave them a good tip, man. They rely on tips. Like, it's a different mentality.
Yeah.
Maybe now, like, you just wouldn't, we like poor people better, or we decide they're noble or something, but they fucking hassled the shit. I went and did a job at a rich woman's house, and I bought a bunch of crown molding. I was a carpenter, blah blah blah, and we had a little dispute, and I had all the crown molding I'd already delivered to the house, and I just she's living up in the hills of the Palisades in like a $5 million house, and she's rich, and she's like middle age. And at some point, I just said to her, look, we've had our disagreements. She was a cunt. And we're going our separate ways, but like I fronted you $300 for the crown molding, and that's a lot of money to me because I'm poor.
Yeah.
And I just would respectfully hope that you reimburse me the $300. She's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I got a beat up Datsun pickup truck in the driveway. But I feel like now it's different. I don't think there'd be this much abuse of the poor. Or am I wrong?
I mean, I look at it the other way too, where you get these fuckers that come over and you go, "Hey, I want to get this, bathtub fixed," and then you front them money, and then they're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
So then they disappear, and you're calling him for months, going, "Hey, dude, I need this job finished,"
Right.
And they're like, "Oh man, and I'll get over there," and then they just, they put it off and off to where you become furious. So,
But do you think in modern times, if the 12-year-old version of you showed up to the house in the San Fernando Valley
Yeah.
to get paid your $7, that homeowner Dawson over there would be fucking trying to Jew you down, as the guys on the job site say? Like haggling with you? Or would you just peel off $10 and go, yeah, there you go, there's a tip?
I don't know. I see videos all day of these, the Karen. And so I think it's
the
still
Karen.
Yeah, I think it's still out there. For sure.
But also, they didn't look at you as a kid. They just looked at you as someone who showed up to get money, right?
That was wild, man.
Yeah.
You're literally on your BMX bike.
I know. We treat kids at least like kids now,
Yeah.
right?
And then you're like, your hands are black from ink. You got like ink on your face, and you're huffing in like paper dust as you're folding those things.
Putting those inserts in.
Oh, the inserts. You got them all lined up, and you're like, okay. And then the rubber band, and then the paper place would charge you for the rubber bands.
I don't think kids, as best I could tell, because I was thinking about this the other day, if newspapers are delivered at all, they're done by middle-aged Guatemalan women in pickup trucks at like 5 in the morning.
Right.
And the reason I know this is, A, I've never seen a kid riding a bike throwing a newspaper. Never anymore. But remember, you can find the story, Dawson. It was pretty funny. There was that LAPD cop who went rogue.
Chris Dorner.
Chris Dorner, who's a dear friend of Mayhem Miller's.
Yeah.
Chris,
That guy, he did everything right, and they still messed him up. He just went on a Rambo-style annihilation of everyone in Los Angeles, put the whole city on lockdown for a minute, got 2 Guatemalan ladies shot by the LAPD.
Oh, what do we need Dawson for? That was about 6 years ago or something.
I remember it clearly.
Chris Dorner, who was a giant black man. When was it?
2013.
Oh, so it's been 12 years. Chris Dorner is a giant black former LAPD guy. Just a big mountain of a black man. And the reason I'm stressing that is because he was driving a pickup truck, and LAPD was freaked out because he was on a rampage and he was coming out for vengeance for them and blah, blah, blah.
What, they fired him or something?
Oh, yeah. And he had filed complaints that they were doing stuff wrong. Nobody listened to him. And instead of keep going through the right channels, he went through the right channel.
He picked up a gun. Yeah. So, but this is funny. Funny, haha. But
I know you can't say funny, but it's dark.
But it's nuts.
We're dark over here.
So somebody was like, "This guy's driving a '97 Tacoma pickup truck that's
Black.
gray,
Yeah, gray,
or
yeah.
whatever it was."
Yeah.
And then at some point, somebody went, "Hey, there's a Tacoma pickup truck that's gray and it's on this street." And LAPD was like, "All right," and they rolled on it. And they just started unloading on the back.
No license plate check?
They lost two clips.
It was a different make and a different color pickup truck. And they just started shooting at it, right?
Wow, look at that.
Now,
shit.
they put like 123 bullets into a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it didn't turn out to be one giant black man in it. It was 2 miniature Guatemalan women who were in it, who were delivering newspapers at 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Which is one of these things where I want to tell everyone from Black Lives Matter, this shit happens all the time to different groups all the time. You just don't hear about it. Because if there's just 2 black people in this truck, people would have been going nuts. We'd have burned the city to the ground. Now, here's the funny part. They missed both chicks.
Wow.
Even though they were firing at the headrest.
Yeah.
Yeah, God loves drunks and newspaper.
Did they die? Then how'd they die?
They didn't die.
Oh, wow.
They're fine.
Wow, God was on with them.
They got a
boy.
little bit of a lawsuit in there.
Oh, excellent. No more paper route.
This shit was divine
Fuck that
intervention.
paper route.
Nobody got fired. It was like no one cared because it was like, look, it's 2 poor Mexican ladies out doing a paper route in the morning. Does anyone give a fuck? Who represents them?
Yeah.
You know, does Jesse Jackson give a fuck? Answer, no. So who cares? And you never really hear about it. Except for evidently, Mayhem over here is an expert on it.
And later on, they burned the cabin that he was hiding out in Big Bear to the ground.
Yeah, they weren't fucking around.
I didn't hear about this.
It's a crazy story.
I must have been, on the road or something.
Well, they were on the road too, but they were getting shot at. But the thing that was crazy about it is, you're looking for one giant black man,
right?
And you fire on 2 miniature Hispanic women who are in the wrong model color pickup truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Could you fuck things up any more than that?
Yeah. I mean, we hear about that every day.
But you know what? I said this at the time, and I mean it. They bought them a new pickup truck.
Wow.
But you know what I would have said? I would have said, no thanks, I'm keeping this pickup truck.
Oh, yeah.
Because the thing ran fine. It's just got a bunch of holes in the tailgate. You know?
It probably looked pretty cool.
You're never getting another speeding ticket as long as you live. Because when you get pulled over, you're like...
You know who I am,
yeah,
right?
You go, no, you just start off, they go, you're doing 80 and a 65. And I go, oh, would you say that's dangerous, officer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous out there. You know what else is dangerous?
Yeah.
17 of your buddies unloading a clip in the fucking back of my niece's head.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to count the bullet holes? Oh, don't worry, I've done it. 123.
Yeah.
Some of those may be from your gun.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep talking to me about safety while you write me this ticket. And the guy would have just went, sorry, man. And he just walked away. You never get another ticket.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get a parking ticket. You wouldn't get a speeding violation. You do whatever you wanted in that truck. And by the way, that's a Toyota. The engine's fine. Tranny's fine. It's not like they shot up the rear end. It's just a bunch of cosmetic stuff.
Engine block's fine.
Yeah.
Truck runs fine.
Radiator, good.
They probably confiscated that and they use it for undercover downtown. You ever seen that? There's undercover cops and they'll be like in a 81 Trans Am.
Oh, are you talking about bait cars?
No, I seen a bait car.
Not bait
for sure.
cars. There's actual cops undercover that use these old cars out of the tow yard.
Oh, I see.
And they're, they've been impounded. So you're like walking around downtown and you'll just see 2 dudes that look like a Beastie Boys Sabotage video with the mustache. Like, that's still the undercover look, a mustache.
Yeah.
You're like, that's a cop for sure.
We were way too impressed with that video when it came out.
Oh, I love it.
I know too, but it's just 23-year-old guy with a fake mustache jumping over a roof parapet and running at a camera. It's like, that wasn't high art.
Well, it was a spin on Kojak and Beretta.
I get it. It was fun, but we were too impressed with it. That's all I'm saying. At the time. But if you look at it now, you're kind of...
It doesn't deserve its Video Music Award.
I don't know, man.
You don't know.
I fucking love that because those guys, I mean, their videos were just so fucking good,
Yeah, in a
comedic way, that thing's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, it's kind of, if you watch it now, I don't think you're going to think it's a masterpiece.
Kids now don't even know what Beretta was, so or
no, out of context. I'm saying it's still just the production value wasn't. Look. What I'm saying is, like, a lot of those MTV videos from back in the day were like Journey would just be standing on a dock playing air guitar. And a chick that was like a 5.5 would come walking by and they'd be like, and they're like, that's our video. And you're like,
with the moose knuckle.
Like a big ass.
Tight,
and you're kind of like,
pants down the dude.
That's a great, ZZ Top had a cool car and the guys would point and stuff. But if you look at it now, you wouldn't be overly impressed with it. Is all I'm saying.
Low grade YouTube now.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about, there's a funny clip. We talk about term limits and like, look, if you're up for the job, you're up for the job. But someone sent me a tweet of Chuck Grassley, who's an old senator, I guess, and was trying to do a town hall-y thing. Where's he represent? What is Chuck Grassley? He's a senator he's trying to do a town hall, and he's 91 years old.
Yeah.
And his constituency is yelling at him the whole time, and it bordered on senior abuse to me, but like, my dad died a few months ago. He was like 92 and a half. He's fucking old at 91. Like, you sit down and he's like, your sister, Lauren. Yeah, right. Lauren, like he's 91.
Right.
Like, it's not firing. Like, I don't know. Commercial airline pilot, they cut you off at 66. Like, they go, sorry, man. And you go, hey, listen, I ran a half marathon last year. It's like, sorry.
Yeah.
You're this age. Sorry.
Mick Jagger, 81, touring. Come on, let me fly.
Yeah, I agree, but listen to Chuck. It's funny. He's from Iowa.
Judges are, and the president is upholding the Constitution. He's defined the Constitution. You're on the Judiciary Committee.
Trump don't care.
If I get an order to pay a ticket for $1,200 and I just say no, does that stand up? Because he's got an order from the Supreme Court and he's just said no.
Yeah. He just said, screw it.
I'll be able to answer your question.
You ignored my letter.
You ignored my letter. 91.
For El Salvador is an independent country. The president.
Speak up, please. We can hear you.
The president. Of
He's going to get hit with a folding chair and die.
Wow. U.S. Supreme Court.
Purse would kill that guy, I think.
If you pause this for 1 minute and look at the guy in the red hat, he's definitely from the Beastie Boys video, but he's older now.
Yeah, he's older now.
He's got the mustache and the mullet.
Good catch there.
There he is right there,
There's
undercover.
Waldo.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
All right. I don't know. Do we cut it off? All right. Look, all right. I'm not going to assign an age to it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to have like an aptitude test. Like we're gonna have a little punt, pass, and kick competition. Like if you're having difficulty, we got to get you out of there.
We need some volume on the guy too. He's just mumbling.
You got to mic him up. Yeah. And the people are like angry. And also, I like when people go, I sent you a letter and you didn't respond. It's like, yeah, I sent Superman a letter when I was 9 and he didn't get back to me. And then I sent Santa one when I was 9. A letter.
2025. I sent you a letter.
Hold on, let me get my quill out. Martha, cancel my afternoon's schedule. I got to return this taxpayer's letter.
If I'm 91, man, I want to fucking just sit on the couch and do some Donata.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just chill. These guys are like, I got to go down there and argue.
And everyone's pissed off.
Oh, God.
I mean, I'm not also... This is what Zoom is for.
Yeah.
I'm not going standing amongst a bunch of angry people and getting yelled at about letters, and then somebody yells like, speak up. And it's funny too, because the person yelled speak up was only 76. They're like a spring chicken, Like, hey, Pops, come on, before my skateboard gets stolen. I left it out in the curb.
Hearing aid ain't fucking working.
God
damn it. That was crazy because he was literally just going.
He's 91.
Yeah.
Can we at least say once you make it to 90?
Yeah.
We're turning the page.
Yep.
That's
I was thinking he seemed pretty strong for 91 though. For 91.
It's good. It's like saying, listen, Tyson could beat any other 57-year-old's ass. Yeah. Right, but could he beat a 31-year-old's ass? And I don't want guys who are good for their age. You know what I mean?
Like that's a classic.
Right. I feel that way with the SI swimsuit edition. Like, she looks good for 73. It's like, get a 22-year-old and put her in a fucking two-piece, would you please?
You don't want any granny?
No, I don't want any. Like, every once in a while, you'll drive around and you'll go like, Jesus Christ, that Chevy Vega's pretty cherry,
Chevy Vega.
It's still a Chevy Vega. Yeah, it's cherry, but it's still I want a Lamborghini. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. All right, I got something else to get into. I don't know what you guys think about this, and I don't want to be morose, but take the show down. But I feel like you guys are qualified to get into some heavy shit. But I'm also curious if my head on it is different than yours. So I told you my friend, actor Nicky Katt, died a couple of days back. He was done all these different movies, a very long who's who of movies. Interesting, eccentric guy, fun guy. Used to hang out with him at the track and come back to the Airbnb and have some drinks and watch some old movies. Old Hollywood aficionado, and just a character. Brought gifts for everyone all the time. Interesting guy. But anyway, I was very upset to find out that he took his own life on Saturday. And then, as you sort of dig deeper into it, it's like, well, he hanged himself, and you're like, I'm always like, oh, God damn it. And then he didn't leave a note. And I'm like, I don't know why not leaving a note says something more depressing to me, as if it could get any more depressing. But no note. And no note just means I don't have anybody, anything, nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I was doing that, I'd have to write both my kids a note.
Yeah.
This doesn't have anything to do with you. That'd be for the boy. For the girl, it'd be like, this has something to do with you, but don't blame yourself. I'm being honest. It's a 20% max, maybe 25, but mostly your mom. But anyway, let's move forward.
Yeah.
But just punching out zero note feels
family?
more depressing.
Did he have family?
He had, we can look it up. His mom, who was sort of his whole world, died a couple years earlier, and I think that was like a lot of this. And I don't think he had siblings, and I don't think he didn't have kids, is the best of my knowledge. He was divorced, but I don't know if he had kids. I don't think.
No note means impulsive, Ace. That's
Does it
what
mean
that
impulsive?
Means. That means he maybe had a couple of those, and then he was like, all right, I don't care, I'm doing it. You make terrible decisions.
Yeah.
Impulsivity is a part of the, depression. I told you I work with emerging veterans and players, and, suicide prevention is a big thing with the teams. Like, you have to make sure to reach out to everybody that you know that could go into a dark place, and sometimes you can't catch everyone.
Right.
So no note means impulse.
I think that
makes sense. He had a sister, by the way.
I've been in dark places, bud, and an impulsive decision, can end your whole thing. And people I've met, the stories of people who have survived, they say they regret it as soon as they jumped the bridge or shot and missed or hung themselves and somehow survived. Like, it's happened, and people
the Golden
always
Gate
regret
Bridge
it.
jumpers.
Yeah, they always regret it at the moment that the decision is made.
I get that, but, and I've seen the doc and the handful of guys that survived. But the Golden Gate Bridge jumper versus the shoot themselves in the headers or hang themselves is possibly a chemical thing. Like, when you jump off of something for that fleeting moment, you're not on safety anymore. Every fiber in your being wants to be back on the bridge, just like you never forget to breathe, no matter how you get drunk, you pass out, you fall asleep, but your body goes, I want back on that bridge. So I don't know if it's that or that, but shooting is different.
Yeah.
I think also that, I lost my mom a couple years ago, and there's some waves of mad depression will hit you out of nowhere.
I've said a million times, they go, the number one job that commit suicide are cops. And I'm like, because they got a suicide machine on their hip.
It's true,
right?
And I go, if I had a gun strapped to me, I would have killed myself 9 times before my 30th birthday. I would have never made it. Well, I don't even know if that's possible. But no, if I had a gun strapped to me, I think I would have killed myself by 23.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
Because
it's just there.
Those mad waves real quick, and you're like, oh, man. But, I mean, it's... And also, though, hanging is not quick. You got to get it all set up.
Pretty brave. I'll say that. That was brave.
You got to YouTube or whatever, figure out how to do... I mean, it's... that is the brutalest way to go, I think.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I've always said I don't understand it. In a world where most people can't change a spare tire, that they could rig that and that it would work. You know what I mean? Is kind of nuts. So I just had the thought of no note, and it made me a little bit sadder.
Yeah.
But now I'm now not quite as sad because you're right. It says impulse buy.
Right.
Which still makes me sad. But all right. So I just want to run that past you guys because I was just curious, like sadder, no note or long note.
Yeah, I don't know. You put a note out, and then maybe in your mind you're like, now I'm bringing them into this darkness. And, you know, where if they go and there's no note, maybe you can just kind of cruise, you know, like, okay.
Here's a third note sadness possibility. My mom died of natural causes, but she did write me a note and my sister a note, which was a page long, but she combined me and my sister on one page.
Oh, so you both read it.
Yeah.
Like, I liked you more.
I was like, I remember when you got your period, and I was like, okay, that wasn't for me.
Yeah, oh, man. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to, you know, it's interesting.
Well,
like,
she had all the time in the world. She was just in bed, you know. Could have got two separate notes, you know what I mean?
She's like, fuck it, I'm old. One note. You know, it's weird because I'm trying to figure out how to talk about my mom on stage right now, you know, and boy, is it
Don't do it.
It's tough, right?
Don't do it.
I know.
I got 1,000 good sad mom jokes, and all the audience does is go,
I love it, though. Hit me with another one.
I got one.
All right, hit me. Let's do a little back and forth dueling sad mom jokes.
This is my first one. So she passed away, and I'm in her house, and I'm cleaning it up, and I come across her wallet, and there's money in there. And I'm like, well, she's not going to really need this anymore.
Right.
So that's the intro to the joke.
Yeah.
And then I try to do other ones, and it's like, no, we gave you one. You know?
They're sensitive.
I got like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Do you have a second one?
Yeah, no.
All right, I'll hit one.
Go.
I'll hit one.
Okay.
This one gets a laugh because my mom's not dead yet.
Oh.
I said I like COVID because I didn't like visiting my mom, and my mom's old and she votes blue and she's a hypochondriac. So even though she's in the neighborhood, I told her I can't come visit you because I love you too much. And I was this close to convincing her that COVID could be spread over the phone.
That's a pretty good one.
And then I go, but she died on me. And everyone goes, oh. All right, Dean, your turn. I'll give you a piece of paper if you want to jot down a note.
No.
Okay.
So as I was cleaning up her house, I realized I had to sell her PT Cruiser.
Was it purple?
It's like a gay
It
giant
was dark
roller
blue.
skate.
It was almost the purple one.
Oh, Jesus
She wanted
Christ.
the purple, but
Oh,
they didn't
my
have
God.
it. I know. And so I had to, you know, drive it to the mechanics to get a smog, and I just said, I can't drive this. So I just sold it with no smog for $1,000 less because I didn't want to be seen in that.
It's the worst.
Oh.
Okay. Here's another one.
Yeah.
This is true. My mom died, and like 3 weeks went by, and my family's untraditional. Like we don't have funerals, and we don't do tombstones or mausoleums. Well, I don't know. She's gone, but I don't know where she is or what happened. There's no burial ceremony, coffin, urn, nothing. So I said to my stepdad, I go, what happened to Mom? Like, where is she? And he said, oh, she donated her body to UCLA Medical. And I said, what were they studying? Moms that never loved their sons? And the audience goes, All right, your turn.
I'm out.
You're out?
I'm out for now, man, because it's like...
I'll give you 2 more because I can't do them on stage because they don't like it.
All right. First of all, how long has it been since your mom passed?
Jesus, 2.5 years?
Yeah, so I'm right there too. But it's still like, you know, I put my mom at the end of the special, and so we're editing the special for like 3 weeks, and every time I saw her, I'd just be like, oh, fuck. You
Yeah.
know, like it was brutal.
Yeah.
You know, it's still there. You know, and I realized she's not going to see this special. And then
you're
I
only
thought
special.
the YouTube commenters are like, thank God it would have killed her. You know, the haters.
Well, I can rest in peace because I got a special coming out in a few weeks, and even if my mom was alive, she wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
She wasn't a fan.
Oh,
But
well, yeah, I'm sure once you went full red on her. God damn it, Mom!
No, she was a fan when I was a kid. But
Gotcha.
I did another one where I was with Dennis Prager, and we're doing some bits, conservative radio guy, and he knows my mom not a fan of mine. And we were in front of a crowd in Arizona, and he said, you know, when I wrote my first book, and he was like 20, and they put a big cardboard cutout of him for the signing, full size, you know, and he said, my mom got that cardboard cutout. She took it home. She put it right in the entry hall, so it could be a big picture of me in the entry hall of her home. And then he laughed, and he said, your mom ever put a big picture of you in her house? And I said, my mom doesn't have a picture of me in her head. And then the audience goes, oh.
You know what I was thinking of that is like that Clint Eastwood, you know, Magnum Force when they're shooting the targets.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom used yours as a target
Yeah,
down at the
she
shooting
brought it
range.
down to the range.
You're just
Yeah, if she ever fired a gun. I said, the other one doesn't work either. So I go, my mom is, I wouldn't call her a helicopter pilot. Like, she didn't really pay attention to us or hover around too much. She wasn't a helicopter pilot, unless you're talking about the last one out of Saigon. Then everyone just goes, oh.
Yeah.
And I go, all right, fuck, I'm not going to do that anymore.
It's tough, man. You know, Stanhope opened his special with 10 minutes about his mom dying of cancer. And you're going like, oh my God, this is dark as fuck. And then it has this giant payoff. And you're like, that could be the best, you know,
He's a gem. Yeah.
dark joke of all time, because it's really a credit card fraud joke at the end. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's like, it turns out my mom bought 7 plasma screens from Good Guys and a couple of, you know, whatever
Right.
he's saying that, you know, he used.
Your mom had a PT Cruiser?
Yeah.
That suggests something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what. I
Well,
mean,
my mom had bad car taste, which was weird because she had good taste in music and art, but her cars were awful. You know?
well, a PT Cruiser is a cool car if you're 9,
Yeah.
but not as an adult.
Well, she had the PT Cruiser, and then she had that Scion X that looks like the lunchbox.
Yes.
The square box. That was her last car, really, was the last car.
She liked kitschy, cartoonish.
It was
trucks,
weird because it looked like a
basically.
toaster.
Yeah.
I know.
And, you know, I drove that around for a couple weeks around Florida, you know?
Yeah.
And you're
Cool.
you're kind of like, this thing is fucking weird. And it was just loaded with dog hair, you know?
Well, that's gerbil hair, isn't it? All gerbils that drive that car.
Oh, the commercial?
Yeah, right.
I'm always curious about, like, when Pontiac came out with the Aztec minivan
yeah.
and people, like, bought it
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
I'm like,
Plymouth Prowler's the one that fucking...
The Prowler's the worst.
There's some Prowlers around my mom's retirement community. The guy gets in it like, yeah, I got a fucking hot rod.
I'm on the prowl.
it's the darkiest.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show there's a lid for every pot.
Yep, yeah. My mom was the best, man. Everything but her car choice.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking love this woman. I miss her
Really?
so bad.
I feel bad for
Yeah,
you.
it was brutal, man. It's just, I was on tour and I got a call from the neighbor. Your mom had a small heart attack. And I was like, oh, fuck, I just got on a midnight flight. I was in San Diego headline and I flew out there and I was there 6 weeks and I lost her. It was,
I love you, Mom. Get better from COVID right now. I love you, Mom.
it's just awful.
Yeah, I don't miss my mom at all.
Yeah, well, I don't miss my dad.
Oh, okay.
I don't miss my dad at all.
that's
so,
good.
you know, there's always one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I can maybe have 2. But,
Yeah.
all right, should we take a break? Should we do some news?
Keen, Lenny from Lenny. and
Michael
Squid.
McKean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably likes Spinal Tap better as a
Right.
as a reference, but go ahead.
Well, it's about, you know, what was weird was I was backstage talking to these guys, and I had no idea that he was the Spinal Tap, and they got the new one coming out.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, fuck, you know, because he didn't have the wig on or nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't, I mean, he looks way different. then I haven't seen the guy in years except for a wig or as Lenny. You know?
Yeah, Lenny and Squiggy. All right, you got news?
Got some news. First up, embattled New York Attorney General Letitia James ducked reporters outside her Brooklyn home Wednesday, refusing to answer questions about her simmering mortgage fraud scandal.
Yeah, this is a problem for her because she brought the same charges against Trump and then kept saying no one is above the law.
Yes.
And they were kind of chicken shit charges with Trump. But if you keep saying no one's above the law and you do the exact same ones against Trump, now you're fucked.
Yeah,
that's
of course
the problem.
She allegedly falsified records, gets sweetheart home loans for Virginia property she claimed as her principal residence while she was still serving in New York as a state prosecutor. So she moved some stuff around. I don't know. I think that what you said at the top of the show, how once the system's in place, people immediately start grifting.
Well, I mean, but you have to really figure out like what is a grift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they go, these fat cats, they got to pay their fair share. It's like I pay millions of dollars in taxes, so I'm looking for ways to pay less in taxes, but I still pay millions of dollars in taxes. But yes, I leased my car and I called it a company car so I could write off the mileage.
Yeah.
But am I driving it to work and back only? No. Sometimes I go out to eat in it, and yes, sometimes I go out to eat, and I'm with Kimmel, but we don't talk about business, but I still claim it as a business. But is it a grift when you're trying to keep more of your money? Like, I would argue it's a grift if I'm trying to take your money. If I'm just trying to keep a slightly higher percentage of my own money, then it's not. And this is all anyone does all day, every day. And it's a system that is set up that attracts that. And as we've learned, nobody has the moral fortitude to completely look past the grift. I mean, they do this thing where they go, I remember coming up, they were like, my count was like, if Jimmy puts 50 grand into your kid's college fund, he can do it tax-free. And then you could put 50 grand into his kid's college fund and that would be tax-free or like whatever it was. And I go, well, is that legal? And they go, yeah. And I go, okay, then do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm already fucking paying enough. Like this thing, we're all caught in some weird malaise of like, what kind of grift? Everyone, if you can get a couple of points shaved from your mortgage or loan or a little better deal, or you say this, you call your office, your fucking room that you watch YouPorn in and eat pastrami sandwiches while watching YouPorn, while beating up. That's my work office, dude. I got to ride off that futon. That's all we do.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But when you then accuse other people of doing it, be prepared.
Yeah. So she's jammed up. Yeah, it could lead to criminal charges.
Well, because nobody who is successful doesn't have instances of this somewhere. Sometimes, and oftentimes, they're unaware of it.
Yeah.
Because they have accountants that are doing stuff, claiming stuff, filling out the paperwork, so on and so forth. But she said no one was above the law. So now she's fucked.
Yeah. No plausible deniability.
So fucking throw the book at her because that was her plan with Trump.
And I agree with everything you said. The other thing about this situation is this is the perfect example of accuse your enemy of that which you are guilty of.
Well, there's a lot of that going on these days. So good. Throw the book at... Well, she could throw the book at herself, I guess. Self-inflicted book.
All right. Liberal outlets say that dogs are actually bad for the environment. Mother Jones reposts the Guardian report about dogs being environmental villains.
We don't, we focus a lot on cows farting, but we leave St. Bernards out of the mix. I would say dogs do their fair share of blasting off, too.
Oh, those big fuckers, man. Like in New York, there's people that have the big St. Bernards and those Great Danes and everything.
Mastiffs, yeah.
Yeah, those things are farting.
Well, look, how could it not?